Welcome to Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast. I am really excited about this episode because I have next to me a lady that is, she is actually the holder of the key for culture in Ocala. And I have to say thanks to MCA. Jaye Baillie is the executive director, and they've been really instrumental in supporting the work of Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast and so many artists in Ocala. So Ocala is really growing in culture, and it's because of the leadership that starts with this lady who is seated next to me, Jaye Baillie. Welcome.
Thank you, Sean, and you're so kind. It takes a village to raise a creative community.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people that support the arts, and we're so grateful. And we were delighted to be able to help fund the Ocala Arts and Events Podcast. It's so exciting to have that here in Ocala, Marion County, to talk about this growing creative industry.
Yes.
Right?
I caught a glance of a nice article that spoke about your hometown, but Ocala is really where you
Sure.
spent most of your years.
Right.
Before you got involved in becoming the executive director for this beautiful organization, how did things materialize for you on the way there?
Gosh, how long do we have for this podcast? So, moved to Ocala when I was 2. Went to Grace Episcopal Day School, went to local public high school, graduated, went to UF, came back. And I've had the great fortune of working in almost every sector here in Marion County. So I started out with the Public Education Foundation. Prior to, it's been so long that I forgot how I started.
Yes.
Started with Marion County government.
Wow.
And their personnel department, and then moved on to the Public Education Foundation. Then worked for the Chamber of Commerce here locally and served as their president for over a decade.
Yes.
And so it's education, it's business, and now ended up here at Arts, and just absolutely a wonderful, I think, last chapter for my work life.
Yes.
Not anticipating that it ends anytime soon, but
Yes.
it's been wonderful to work in all sectors. And through that, I've had a lot of mentors that have helped me, a lot of friends, a lot of support, and we're really excited about the leadership that we're seeing coming up behind this age group that I'm in now.
Right.
So our community is in great hands, and you're a fine example of that. Moving
Thank you.
here to our community, getting involved, getting engaged, encouraging other artists to find us, the hub, to help
Yes.
support their activities, and it's just our pleasure to work together for
Yes.
the arts community.
Oh, yes. Now, what is interesting is the how you moved from one sector to the other. And one of the things I try to do is, especially for young people who are trying to get involved
Sure.
in the arts, to really understand that you don't just jump from one space to another.
Right.
You could hear how you hone your skills in business and in school and doing all these different things before you get to the cultural side of it.
Correct.
What is like being an executive director at this solid establishment?
Oh, well, this April will be my 7th year here.
Okay.
So I'm very grateful for the board for selecting me to serve as the executive director, and it's absolutely a pleasure to work in this space and not just this space physically,
Yes.
but working with artists, working with the creative community, and in particular with the team that we have here. Everybody is so devoted to helping grow the arts, and every day is different.
Yes.
We work with emerging artists, we work with professional artists. We often, this building was called the Hub as a department store, so
Okay.
we are still the Hub and welcome new artists every day. We had somebody that just moved in from Michigan the other day, and she said, I heard that I should start, inquiry here and
Yes.
get involved, and we encourage folks to be a part of the artist community. People say I'm shy and I don't want to meet people. Well, networking in any sector is so important, and getting yourself out there. You do it better than most. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what kind of workload, I mean, to run a sector like this, because Ocala is moving at a rapid pace.
Absolutely.
With respect to culture, events that's happening, people who, and for that to happen, this organization would be in front of all the other organizations representing how people behave, how they interact, how the community is growing, what it's like, what kind of workload is involved in all of that?
Big workload. I don't do it all by myself. We have a great board of directors. We have many committees. It involves fundraising. We have very little public support. Most of it's from private donors or for grants. So that's our primary purpose, is to raise funds to support the arts.
Yes.
And the other is to be that hub to get new artists and established artists
Yes.
to help champion the work that they do. So every stage along the way, and this is what I like to tell young people, is that when I look back, I couldn't even imagine that I'd be an executive director of an arts organization, because I'm not an artist. I just love art.
Yes.
But every step was accretive to the skills that I collected, the connections that I
Yes.
collected to where I am today.
Yes.
So I tell folks, just enjoy every stage, every chapter where you are, and then take advantage of mentors and take advantage of experiences, and get yourself out there, and don't. Some of the young people that I meet today, they know everything already.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know what I'm
Yes,
saying. And just be humble and take advice from folks that have already walked where you're trying to walk now.
Exactly.
And be grateful for folks caring enough to take time to give you a little bit of help and advice and help direct you. And don't be
Yes.
afraid to ask questions.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you spoke about sponsorship and grants being your main source of funding. And of course, I guess that would be the carrier of all your members that exist so far. I know that you have several programs that the MCA roll out each year.
Right.
What are some of those programs people could learn of?
Sure. So we, our granddaddy of all, that was implemented by our founders, was our cultural grants program.
Right.
And to date, we've issued checks to arts organizations totaling $465,000,
Wow.
which is significant. So
Yes.
we've not missed a year in our grant cycle, and really excited to be able to announce that we have received a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, which this grant cycle will be able to grant $80,000.
Okay.
Which our normal year is $30,000.
Oh.
So this is pretty significant for us.
Yes.
We also have grants for artists. It's a very simple application. It's the For Friends grant, named after people that many of them were my mentors, and one still continues to be. That is meant to provide equipment or training. If you wanted to go to a clinic on podcasts to improve your
Right.
skills,
Yes.
or an artist wanted to take a workshop in Michigan, or a photographer wanted to buy a new piece of equipment, they can apply for grants up to $1,000, and that's online on our website, and it's rolling, and you've applied, so
Yes.
it's very
Yes, I could
simple,
have- yes.
and you just have to answer a few questions. And then we have the Corzeni grant for arts educators. So
Right.
art educators can apply for up to $1,000. K-12 teachers that need supplies, or a new program,
Yes.
or a laptop that kids can use to create art, any of those sorts of things. And all the criteria, guidelines are located on our website, mcaocala.org. So, and most recently, we're very proud to have the Megan Boone Performing Arts Grants. Megan is an actress and a director who's had her early arts education at Bellevue High School.
Yes.
And in honor of two teachers, Lori Reeder and Nancy Atkinson, she formed two grant pools. So that information is on our website as well.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. And I think what people need to also note is you have to be a member in order to apply for these grants.
Not the cultural grants.
Oh,
You
not
don't
the
have to be a
cultural
member.
one.
We've dropped that requirement.
Okay,
But
beautiful.
for friends and, yeah, of course, any. But in the case of the arts educators, Marion County School System is a member of MCA. So any teacher,
Okay.
they don't have to be a member themselves. We would love to welcome them.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course, of course. I
Absolutely.
mean,
Yeah.
I've been a member of this organization, and I would recommend that people sign up, and because the community
Yes.
is a really wonderful community. What I enjoy at the MCA as well is all of the different events you have that is taking place in this space that you don't want to miss. So you said the mcaocala.org, that's the website.
Yes. That's
Beautiful.
Yep.
So I'm speaking with the executive director of Marion Cultural Alliance. This is in Ocala, Florida. We are in the space, and I mean, I'm honored to sit next to this wonderful lady who
Thanks,
is,
John.
I mean, when you see Bailey moving around, you wouldn't think that that's the executive director because she's so humble. But to hear her story, I want to thank you very much for blessing us with this opportunity to
I
chat.
appreciate the opportunity, and we're so proud of your work in getting the word out about Ocala.
Yes.
One of the fastest growing metros,
Yes.
and our arts community is keeping pace with that, and we're
Yes.
just absolutely delighted with the work that you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we need to let this lady run because executive director. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks.